pride of life, huh? The pride of life. For Satan deceives the whole world, huh? It's really sad. I think about it. You know, I mean, it's amazing at first, but then, as when you obtain much wisdom and knowledge, sorrows come into play. I'm paraphrasing off of that the verse or the scripture of Ecclesiastes, but those who read it, you know what I'm trying to say. You know, it's much joy to see the word being so true and how real it is. How these books and their word on it is just so powerful and so true. It's more alive than us because it was here before us, and literally, it's from the Creator being told to man to write it. But then it's so sad. It's amazing to see the word come out to play, but then when you see it being really played out in your own, in face to face, in your when you really see it through your own eyes being played out, it just is so heart aching. It's very sad. And I just thought of it just now. There's somewhere in scripture, you know, in the renewed covenant, that it was about that the old prophets, they longed to see these things. They wanted to see these things play out. Like how we're seeing the word literally jump off the pages, and we're seeing it happen in people and in this world. Certain things that are happening that scripture has said would happen. Yahusha said that the prophets longed to see those things. They would have been, if they were here now, they would be so excited to see how his word is just coming off the pages, just happening right in front of our eyes. And yet those who claim to be believers, those who live in religion, they can't even see it. They're blind. They can't even see it. They can only see what their pastor or teacher is telling them or wants them to see, because they have no love of the truth. As 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 has said, they don't have a love for the truth. Because if you had a love for the truth, you don't need man. You would seek it out on your own. But back to the pride of life, it's just Satan was kicked out for having pride. So you have to think to yourself, what is he going to teach in his world? Because another thing, I know I will. I was going to say the church doesn't teach this, but I'm wrong, because I've heard a few, a couple. I've heard some say it, but they bring it so low. They don't bring it like I'm not gonna say they pervert it, but they make sure people know that Satan is the god of this world, but they don't go into such strong details on how he is or what is moving people that they're serving in his kingdom. I can't really get the words I want out of my head, or they're not there. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, even though the church will say, oh, Satan's the God of this world, but they won't teach them what certain things that he is being a god of. One is pride. They don't teach people enough that that he teaches us to be prideful in his reign of this world for the time being, for this short period of time. And as these days just go quicker and quicker, yeah, his time is really going short. And it's really crazy, when I look how fast the days are just skipping by. Literally, today is Wednesday, but it just feels like Monday was just here. Like, I'm waking up now from 7 or 8 a.m. and 11 o'clock comes by like within the next hour. And it's just so insane. I know we know in scripture it says that time will be sped up for the elect's sake. But I just still find it amazing, it's just like, but what I wanted to get to about that was, through this speeding of time, not really much craziness has happened, if you know what I mean. Like, not a lot of like the calmness of war being talked about on the news has really not really been. I mean, I'm not watching the news or TV and stuff like that, but I have yet to see like or hear from people, you know, like something drastic is about to come. I haven't heard like anyone in great panic or fear yet. And what comes to my mind right now is just that, or what has been on my thoughts for a while now, is the Most High is giving us this grace period to really lock in with Him, because there is something coming. And He's just giving us this certain amount of peace and time to get our spirit and our mind in line with Him. Because the next thing that's about to come, if we are weak in those things, we're going to fall short to Satan's schemes. I believe that, in Revelation, it is talked about, with the four horsemen. The first one's about conquering, but the next one is about taking peace from the earth. So that's what's coming next. So I believe the Most High is giving us this grace period right now, or a certain type of peace period, where He is giving us enough time to just get our minds and souls in check and in line on focusing really hard on Him, because what's about to happen next, where peace is about to be taken from the earth, like He's really just trying to correct us right now. He's allowing us to get this time enough to really show ourselves to be trustworthy, to show ourselves that we trust in Him, and that we won't rely on ourselves or on man or no one else. So that's what's coming to me, that to believe that, no craziness has happened in this world yet, because He's giving us some time to really get ourselves in line and in check, so that when He does allow these things to happen, when He allows peace to be taken from the earth, we'll be able to only rely on Him and to guide us wherever He needs us to move or to stay, and not live in panic or fear. Yeah, I'm all over the place right now. But dang, yeah, I really am over the place. I was talking about the pride of life, right? But yeah, the pride of life. Satan's really just got this whole world on a chokehold in strongholds. People really don't want to check themselves to really see if they're being deceived by the devil or not. They just really believe that they know it all. But I mean, just as I was making in the other video, many are called, few are chosen. It's just beautiful how when I think that now, his word never goes against another part of his word. His word always goes with the other. Like, let me just get what I'm saying. For many are called, few are chosen, Yahusha says, or said. And then when you add that with Second Thessalonians, the love of the truth, that's the few. Those who have a love for the truth are the few. And then those, the rest are just the many. You have to know if you really have a love for the truth or not. That's why I also try to, emphasize my family, just have a love for the truth. Ask the Father for a love for the truth, but they don't take heed to the warning. But I don't blame them either. I know when it comes to my walk. I mean, at first I used to just say to myself, oh, it's because of the scripture of what Yahusha said that no prophet is um um dang it's in my head. I can't get it out. No prophet is unappreciated except in his own country, in his own household. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm a prophet, but those who the Most High has put the truth in, who has made to be basically uh, um, the black sheep of the family, and the family doesn't take heed to the words, you know. But I used to use that as an excuse why my family won't listen to me. But the truth was, or is, I'm still moving fleshly. You know, I still have my old ways of my flesh. Even though I know the truth and I love the truth, I accept it, but my actions aren't correlating or synchronizing with what I say. I can say like I'm being like a hypocrite, as what scripture has said first. Take the plank out of your eye, and then you can remove the speck out of your brother's eye. So I need to continue to walk more in a righteous way, so that, because in this world everything is flesh, 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 flesh. No one's seeing spiritual except those who are in the truth. That's what's making it so much more understandable why, as to when you try to help your family and you try to talk to them in through words or of spiritual things, they don't get it. They only see flesh. So if they see, but those who are in the truth, you can see past the flesh. You can see the spiritual because you've been given the spirit of truth. But with them, they're only going to see flesh. So that's what I've realized for me. I can see past the flesh because I'm listening to the words. I'm listening to the words and I'm trying to hear the truth. And I can see the truth through who Yah is putting the truth in. But with them and me trying to help them, I have to understand I can't move in my old ways. Like, I I can't be this same old buddy goofy cousin of myself to my family. I have to walk in such a righteous manner, not to look perfect in front of them, but to really stand on business in what I am talking about, so that they can really see, like, because since they only see in flesh, they're like, when they see me, they'll be like, oh, he's serious about this walk. And now they can like come to me when it comes to certain things of the word or anything of that sort. Not, well, if Yah desires for them to come to me, but you get the point I'm trying to say. Oh man, but yeah, this world is really deceived, and it's unfortunate because they only see but flesh, and that's what Satan wants them to see. He just wants them to see things of fleshly manners and not of spiritual. And what's popping in my head right now is just what Yahusha said um to the to the Pharisee or the Nicodema, I think it was. He's when he said, what was it? I think he was saying, if you do not understand the earthly things, how can I even speak to you about the spiritual things? So yeah, I don't know why that popped in my head when I was talking about how most people can only see but flesh or understand by flesh, because that's all they can just understand by is fleshly manners. If they don't see it, if they don't physically see it, they're not going to believe it. So that's just how it is. Even those who consider themselves to be woke or in the truth, but yet they follow religion. They're in religion. You know, maybe Yah just hasn't opened their eyes yet, but hey, it is what it is. But that's pretty much to this video. The pride of life, I'll call this. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed this video. Until next time, thanks for watching. Take care.